So my sister, one of my sisters, shout out to Natalie. We were talking on the phone the other day, and she was talking about she was having some issues at work, kind of with a coworker, where they really weren't being direct about some things that had happened at the job. Nobody was in trouble; it was nothing massive, but it could have been handled just by understanding that you were coworkers and you knew each other and had worked together and helped each other. And as she's explaining this to me, the topic of, like being the bigger person came up. And she said, sometimes it just don't feel like being the bigger person, like when you get asked by your bosses or whatever, or just life asks you. And the response that I had for her was that sometimes they ask you because they know you are the bigger person. And what that says isn't a disparaging remark against the other person. It just means that they know it's going to come to a resolution quicker by asking you, the more mature or the more seasoned or the more experienced person, to just go ahead and handle it. Now, it doesn't mean that it's always right, and it can be frustrating because I've been in those positions. Because it feels like it's like a sibling thing. And when you are the older sibling, what do your parents tell you? Look, like, just do it. You know better. You're older. Those can be frustrating things, especially when these aren't your family, your siblings, and you're not children, and you're in a position and in a area where you're being paid. But sometimes, just for your own peace, just be that bigger person, because we're always a work in progress, but we get better every time we do it. And then there's a point where we're probably not asked to do it so much as we just take care of that business. We just go ahead and address whatever it is that needs to be addressed. And is it always fun? Is it always rewarding? Is it always appreciated? Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, in the long run, when you're not having to deal with conflict with people because you're seeing it coming and you're already addressing it. That's what happens from it. When you get better at something, then you learn how to slow the game down, and then you're like Neo in the Matrix. You're dodging bullets and things like that. You're letting the game come to you rather than you rushing towards it. And that's a great place to be when you're talking about being able to just say, hey, I see what you're doing, I get it. And then you just navigate it. While they're still playing checkers, you are playing 3D chess. And again, this isn't a knock against people who they're not asking to be the bigger person. It just means they haven't gotten there yet. Look, we're all on our own path, on our own journey. We learn at our own learning curve, at our own rate. And sometimes it takes the little bit of help from somebody like yourself or somebody else who can be the bigger person just to go ahead and do it. Is it hard to do sometimes? Yes, especially when that person can be like a real pain in the backside, and it's like, I don't want to have to help them. But again, that's where our growth sets in. That's where we get better at just understanding that this isn't a personal issue between you and that person. More than likely, most times, it's between them and themselves, and where they need to develop, where they need to be able to have a better means of communication, a better control and mastery of their emotions and their actions. But in the meantime, it's not just for you and that person, it's for the betterment of everybody in that area as well. Because that problem gone unchecked can continue to spill and seep into the workplace or the school place or whatever it is, and it poisons the waters, because now everybody's probably having to hear and deal with this on some level who had nothing to do with it. So when you can just take care of it and survive to tell another day and go home and practice some delayed gratification during the day, go home and do some hardcore Tai Chi or your Zumba class, or jog the park, or whatever. Do something just to like let that steam off, but just know that you did the right thing and it's appreciated. And I see it every day because I know that there's people at my job who in certain positions they have to be the bigger person, and it makes the workplace better. And it's something that I take from, learn from, and I try to do it. And hopefully there's times where I've been the bigger person and it's helped the environment as a whole just get past it and heal from it and just, move on to the next. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Ace up the sleeve, advice, comment, experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts on something like this, just being the bigger person. Sometimes, again, it can be frustrating, but in the grand scheme of things. It gets you back to your peace a lot sooner. So leave in the comments. Would love to hear what you guys have to say. And as always, subscriptions are free. Share it with your friends. Be a good friend. And I hope this finds everybody on your place, pursuit, or beginnings of total health, mind, body, and soul. Peace, love, unity, solidarity. And as always, subscriptions and videos. So stick around.